This college basketball picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sportsbook available in 45 states. Download the Rebet app and use code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, this is Bill Romanowski. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Howdy, Sean.
Howdy indeed.
Feel like we need to have a serious conversation
About your record in the college basketball picks.
We can 100% have that conversation.
Okay. What is that? The serious conversation you want to have?
It's part of the serious conversation.
Okay. I like it.
And let's get Colby on. He needs
joining us on the line from the college experience, Colby Dant, aka Lean Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
Hold on, Colby's not coming up. Let me try again. There we go.
Colby, you got some internet problems? What's going on over there in the East Coast?
North Carolina is it's like when they captured or found one of bin Laden's bunkers and he had that big porn collection, but everything was beta and VHS.
Yeah.
North Carolina's well, they're behind the times on the internet. Let's just say that when you make a call for fiber optics and it's like I'm trying to kidnap the president or something. It's hard to get this thing going. Yes, lots of internet problems.
When the magnetic poles shift enough and disable our force field against the solar flares, you're going to want your porn on film or something that's playable in an analog sense.
Yeah. Some sort of thumbnail.
Imagine the entire supply of the world's porn disappear. Like
we'll have to go back to the woods to get our porn. That's used to be.
This is a movie featuring Bruce Willis. In the
that'll
future.
be when the Bush returns.
Yeah.
I mean, if Elon's going to do anything, like, can we get some of the porn sent off to the space station now?
It always cracks me up when women are like, we like sex too. We're just as horny as guys are. It's like, really? Did you spend your teen years walking through the woods hoping to find some discarded piece of pornography? Really? I don't think you spent your teenage years just scurrying the woods, hoping that the type of guys that took. No, so it's a thin line. Finding pornography in the woods totally normal, but taking it out to the woods is totally weird and creepy.
But it's evolution, right? Like, how does the race continue if one half of the species isn't constantly looking to breed with the other half of the species?
So you were you borrowed your dad's needle nose pliers, and you were like you were tinkering in the back of an old TV to hopefully get that cat 5 or whatever cable the cable connection. The coaxial cable just to hit that sweet spot, so it would the splice channel. The blurs would come in slightly better.
Do you remember?
Was that how you were growing up?
I mean, I remember that we had one of the TVs had a remote that if you held it down, it sent the signal over and over again. And if you did it if you turned the TV, if you switched the channel to the channel you wanted to try to descramble, and then turn the TV back on, so there was no last channel, and just held down the last channel button, it would like eventually descramble it enough to where you could see it in like the inverted white black colors.
Everyone had.
I mean, also the idea when I try to explain to the young people, photocopied magazines was like a massive currency in high school. Like if you had the ability to find your hands on some photocopied Playboys.
Yeah. And you just distract,
it's like 4 pages.
Distract the 7-Eleven guy, run off a couple copies, and then get on your bike and ride out of there.
The librarians never knew it hit them before it was too late.
Someone Bally Fat Sack in the chat saying that's crazy. Glad I'm not that old. Thank you. We are pioneers out there.
In a way, though, just imagine for a second, Sean, we had the nuclear codes right away.
Yeah,
because I mean,
probably not great.
I mean, I was grinding some like 16-bit strip poker game on my old ass
Leisure Suit Larry
computer. I mean, Leisure Suit Larry was erotic, and it was like, are we kidding?
Duke Nukem had like some 16-bit graphics where
he had a great quote. He's like, "Shake it, baby."
Yeah, Duke Nukem. I'm gonna try and find the Duke Nukem.
I mean, the whole element of like we survived the 80s. Like we were the first generation to have gettable porn that was also very just hilarious compared to what. Anyway, so imagine today. I mean, I wouldn't want that sauce. I feel blessed that we didn't have cell phone cameras in college. Like a lot of things I feel perfect.
Yes.
About.
Yeah. Yes.
No, it was probably for the best. All right. You mentioned you mentioned the Duke Nukem scene. While we're here, we have to,
what happened?
I was able to quickly track it down. This is taking me back. You got your rocket launcher in the strip club.
You wanna dance?
Whoa.
Shake it, baby. Shake it, baby.
This was edgy. This was extremely edgy.
Shake it, baby. You wanna dance?
We need to.
There's so much gold there.
Yes. We need to. I think that's its own drop. Shake it, baby.
I mean, the fact that you could walk in a strip club with a rocket launcher and then there's no other human beings in there,
No.
they're still dancing, even after seeing the rocket launch, which I guess I understand, because you don't want them to shoot that rocket launcher off. So you got to perform at the highest level there. But that voice, I don't remember that voice being that over the top.
No, yeah, it takes me back.
Wolfenstein 3D. That was the predecessor. I mean, it just again the levels we had to take things.
Yeah.
Again, just imagine the idea of going to a library to make a copy of a copy.
Yeah, it was a simpler time,
and then try to sell that copy.
Yeah, everyone had their hustle back in the day.
Hustle was real.
All right, so yeah, not great picks wise, but Ryan, what was the super serious thing you wanted to talk to Colby about?
These numbers. Colby almost last week. I mean, he after an abysmal start to Colby's season, where he almost broke the numbers going 2-12 ATS.
But he did get one of his locks right out of the 2-12, which is impressive.
He assisted in blessing the Discord with a 6-0 first week.
I mean,
by
Discord,
the way, they're 10-1 overall.
I'm going to start just tailing Discord because Discord's kicking our ass now.
So after that bad start for Colby, he has a nice bounce back week.
Yeah.
But why does he have a nice bounce back week? Well, it's all the extra CLV he gave himself on these Fugazi numbers. Georgia, North Florida, great example of a game that Colby opens with his numbers on the wrong side by a mile. It opens on the other side, fits in the middle. Interesting. A number that we're picking on the show gets middled. There's a 6-point middling window and it gets middled. Colby's on the right side. Do you think this is a coincidence, Sean?
Well, if you're going to mention that, then how about me losing UCF when that really hit with the real number then, buddy? So look, it goes both ways. You're trying to sprinkle this bullshit on us and I'm not taking it. All right. Because UCF
I was also on UCF.
cashed for me. That was a 4.5 point spread.
I was on the wrong side of all of them. All of these horrible line moves. I was on the wrong side. So you know what I'm telling myself, Sean? I'm going to be a little bit more price sensitive to Colby's bullshit.
Yeah, you gotta handicap the handicapper.
So
Ryan.
if Colby's going to try to sell eggs
I went 500 on that. I went 500 on the line movement. Actually, no, I think I went 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Organic, free range chicken eggs for $25 over here. I'm not buying them this week. Not buying.
Shout out to ZD Mills checking in on the chat. Yo, fellas, thoughts on Michigan season so far and the rest of the way. And Noah taking the reign. Noah from the college experience. Sloppy basketball so far. ZD Mills. Hopefully It's just because it's early. We are early in the season.
You talking about Noah from our company meeting who had a well-written minute handicap for the underdog entry and then proceeded to take it all down?
Well, I don't think we would have got there otherwise.
We don't have to talk.
Okay, throw Noah under the bus. I get it, but I think it was Jake Melise or something for Washington State. He ended up, I think, getting injured. So we'll give Noah half credit on that angle. All right.
Wow. All right. Oh, I'm like a bully trying to shove Noah in the locker.
I would say
you come along and say, hey, we're not putting anyone in the locker.
Michigan looks better than what I thought they would look. With some of the transfers they brought in, and obviously Dusty May, they very well could be undefeated right now. That was a very close game against Wake Forest. So yeah, I mean, I think they actually look a bit better than what I anticipated them to look.
But you thought they were going to be pretty bad.
I thought they'd be. Yeah, I didn't have them making the tournament. Now I think they're a tournament team.
Yeah, we'll see. They, conference play will tell the story.
There's been some allegations that Colby's been selling his leans over on Dub Club under the name Mini Hog 420. Any truth to that,
Ron,
Colby?
Okay. Night load 69.
I do think we need, as a company, we need to investigate some sort of way to make fun of Dub Club further. I mean, this place is hilarious. They let you hide the plays that you lose. You can it's like a WordPress site. You just hide this one, mark private,
mark private.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Anyway,
don't pay for picks. We got an app with tons of free picks every day. The SGPN app, free picks every sport, all our podcast videos, all in one convenient app. Just type SGPN in your app store. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? It's free. Yeah, highly recommended. Let's go, Kramer.
Paying for sex or paying for picks, which is worse.
Either way, you feel dirty afterwards, but at least paying for sex, you get a happy ending. You don't get a happy ending guaranteed with the picks.
That's true.
Imagine paying for sex and then the chick going, "Yeah, I'm not that into you," and you're like, "Wait, can I have my money back?" You're like, "No, sorry, bad beat, bad beat."
Get you're halfway home and then it's a backdoor cover. She's like, "All right, I gotta go pick up my kid." Like,
what happened here? I thought I was paying to win.
The idea of getting a backdoor bad beat while paying for sex is pretty funny. All right, Colby alerted us. He said we can't do the show on Monday.
Yeah,
the Tuesday slate is, I think he called it like duty poo or ass
doo doo play.
Yeah, Colby likes his ass play. So he said we got to do Thursday. There's a banger of a slate. We got all these tournaments starting up, and we got games all day. So alert the boss. Maybe get the boss mode screen up. Get it ready to go. They should just have that on YouTube TV all the time.
Yeah,
have a button that you can fire up that just looks like you're in Google Sheets.
Yeah, I think they did.
They did for a March Madness. I'm saying, can we get that all season long, please?
Yeah.
Miami of Florida, they're taking on Drake. Colby will explain why they're both in Charleston, South Carolina. And noon tip local time. So Sean, we have college basketball all day long, working our way up until Thursday night football. What a glorious day. Drake catching 9 points according to the Colby algorithm. How are we feeling about Colby? How do you feel about the number you set on this game? Is he going to take the dog or the favorite? Sean?
Well, I mean, have you been to Charleston, South Carolina?
I have.
This is the Charleston Classic. Do you worry about, perhaps these Miami Hurricane players going out on the town? It's a big drinking town.
A lot of scattered ass all over the place.
I would say Charleston is arguably one of the most underrated get fucked up, like kind of on vacation vibe town.
Now, does this apply to the kids at Drake coming from Iowa? I mean, if you're Miami, you've probably seen some things. If you're coming from Iowa, maybe these Southern Belles are a little bit of a distraction.
It's true. Danger. A lot of money, a lot of women with money, a lot of powerful women with money.
That's true. Who's affected more by that? You think it's the Iowa angle because they're just never been in such a place so nice, or the Miami thing of just hey,
they've only been in Iowa. They've never been to a place as nice as Charleston.
I do a show with J Mark, so I know that
Where do you park your tractor down in Charleston? I don't know. This is interesting because I understand. Obviously, it makes sense to make the Miami a favorite. I mean, their offense has been amazing. Shooting the three ball very well. To me, Drake's turnover percentage is insane. They're one of the worst teams in college basketball turning the ball over. To me, that is even though I question Miami's full motivation, I think the turnovers are enough to get the cover for the favorite. What are you doing, Colby?
I'll take the points just because, I Miami, obviously the John Ruiz, they brought in a bunch of, I feel like each year, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, they go out and just bring in a bunch of talent, but it normally takes a little while to really get it going. And they are undefeated, but they haven't really played anybody. Fairleigh Dickinson, Binghamton, and Coppin State. I mean, this is the first game that they can actually get tested here. So, I'm going to take Drake here. Didn't they play in March Madness? I feel like they might've played in like the opening round in March Madness, a couple of years ago. Miami won by 7. I think it was.
I feel like the line
63-56. They played each other.
Yeah. The line was like 8, right? Didn't Drake backdoor that, or am I crazy?
No, Drake had control of the game and completely blew the game late. Like one of those crazy.
What year? Wait, what year was that?
This is March 17th, 2023.
Okay.
They played at the MVP Arena.
So 2 years ago. Well, Drake obviously they are in the middle of a different regime. They hired Ben McCullum, who comes over, but he brought a bunch of his players over. It's almost
that
like
was the team with Tucker DeVries. Okay, yeah. I remember. I'm remembering now.
I'm still taking the points though. I'm still taking the points. I just feel like McCullum comes in with a bunch of his transfers. Miami has played no one with the pulse really. So Drake at least is a little bit more battle tested with playing like Florida Gulf Coast and Stephen F. Austin. So give me Drake to stay within that fine number that Pick Dundee set.
It's early, but they also turn you over. So will be a test for the guards of Miami, but they are upperclassmen. So I'm never going to take Miami, Sean.
Drake's
a pedophile, I've heard. 9 a.m. We're staying in South Carolina, but now we're in Conway. Middle Tennessee State taking on the Bobcats of Ohio. Ohio projected to be a 2-point favorite according to Pick Dundee. Colby, what do we got going on here?
Yeah, this is another one where you just ignore the records. I feel like the Bobcats have played a much harder schedule. They played JMU, which we know is the best school in Virginia when it comes to football or basketball. And
I love Colby's subtle troll.
And they didn't they beat Virginia Tech the last time they played? And then you guys stop scheduling them. And then they took on UNC Asheville, a team that had success recently past couple of years, and then Illinois State, it was a solid team in the Valley, and then Memphis with Penny Hardaway. So I tend to think you're getting a good number here because they are 1-3. But Jeff Bowles keeps a good team there. Remember, they beat the Wahoos. They beat the Pussy, or not the Pussy Pack. They beat the Wahoos, which are similar to the Pussy Pack, in the opening round of the NCAA tournament a couple years ago, when they had Ben Vanderplas. So I think you're getting them there. Middle Tennessee's always a much worse team away from Murfreesboro, and go into Conway, South Carolina with Myrtle Beach right there. Dangerous spot for these Blue Raiders. I think
they're gonna end up at Dick's Last Resort.
Why are they playing at Coastal?
That's where this event is every year. The Myrtle Beach. I actually thought about going to this, but then I was like, there's a lot of good football games going on.
Wow.
So
prioritizing football over basketball, Colby.
Right. In November, you have to. Especially rivalry week. But yeah, I think Ohio is a better basketball team than Middle Tennessee. So don't pay attention to the record. Just trust the better coach, the better culture, and ride with those Bobcats.
No, I'm with you. I think Ohio, this is a smash spot for them. Their one weakness on defense is defending the 3-ball. Middle Tennessee doesn't shoot the 3-ball well, 21.8% so far from behind the arc. You throw in throw the record books out. I think you're right, Colby. Middle Tennessee, good at the free throw line, but I think Ohio much better team.
Only Utah Tech, Mississippi Valley State, Delaware State, Oakland, and Valpo are worse shooting the 3-point ball.
Yeah, no, I'm all over Ohio here. I think
we love the MAC.
I think you're getting a good price because of the like Colby said, the 1-3 start. And Colby, just to clarify, Tennis Gambling Podcast, aka Scott Rochelle, wants to know: is this a play or is this a lean?
My
just
God,
no, this is a full on play. This is not a teeter. You'll know when I'm teetering. All right, I actually got to go to Harris Teeter later on.
Teterboro.
Yeah,
you gotta catch a flight out of Teterboro. Kramer, what are you doing? Are you making it a trifecta? Is Discord going to be on Middle Tennessee?
Teterboro, great New Jersey airport. Yeah, the Discord will be on Middle Tennessee.
Now it makes me like Middle Tennessee because Discord's been hot.
I will say though, quick nice thing about Murfreesboro is that where Middle Tennessee State is? Colby, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
Underrated party scene, party school. Very fun place to be. Colby, if you get a chance to get out there, please.
Oh, I've been, buddy. I've been to Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. All right. I have a Hicks for Heisman T-shirt somewhere.
Gotta ride the bull.
Oh.
11:30 a.m. We're going back to Charleston for game number 2. We'll get another handicap here that involves young men getting taken advantage of by rich older women in Charleston, Oklahoma. I mean, it seriously is. You got to watch out. The women down there, they control all the money and they want their dick. Oklahoma State -1.5.
What is Ryan basing this off of?
We know a guy.
Experience.
We know a guy who also lives in the area out there. Also, a big Buffs fan.
Oh, okay.
Gotten some intel along the way. Just sharing with the audience. Oklahoma State laying a projected 1.5 points here against FAU. We were talking about Dusty May earlier. How are the Owls doing, Colby?
They're 3-2, but I feel like they're better than their record. John Jacobs came in from being a longtime assistant with Scout Drew at Baylor, and Oklahoma State has a new coach too, and Steve Lutz, who came over from Western Kentucky. Oklahoma State's undefeated, but they've been actually a little more tested than I think, or I guess the way to say it is they haven't looked as good as I thought they might look. The struggle with Green Bay, Doug Gottlieb's team. Then the Tommies of St. Thomas kept it within that number.
The Salukis
almost knocked them off. So the question is do you want to just ride a team that might be getting better with every game, or to me, FAU at 3-2, when you really dive into it, like they lost to UCF in a very close game there that we should have hit on. Had our numbers been official, and
UCF is a great team. Let's not forget they're one of the teams of the early season for me, at least.
Well, then they lost
over Texas A&M.
They lost to Charleston.
Power rankings are just: did you beat Buzz and Texas A&M or not? If
they're undefeated too. They're undefeated.
Yeah, no, UCF's playing good ball, and FAU gave them a game. They did lose to Charleston, but that was double OT. I think the wrong team's favorite. I like this FAU team better, and they've had to play tougher games. Like Oklahoma State, they're undefeated, but they didn't. To your point, Colby, like they let some of these subpar teams hang around in these games longer than they should. They just aren't battle tested, and they've only played 3 games. FAU's played 5. Like I think they've figured out their team way more. Now, FAU is coming off an overtime game on Saturday.
2 overtime games, I believe. I think 2 overtime.
Friday they played double OT. Saturday OT. I don't know. They're college kids. This is Thursday. There is some travel there. I still think the fact that we're calling this as a small dog, I'm all over FAU here.
I am with you. I am with you. The trip not that far for them. Also, Mattis Vokitatis, I forget how to say his name. The big man for FAU, I think could be an issue for Oklahoma State around the rim. So I think FAU is actually the more battle tested team, and I think that this is a good spot for them just because the fact that Oklahoma State has been playing all these ones at home. It's their first.
All right. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna put some icing on top of the cake. Two bits of the handicap you guys missed. One, they were just in Charleston, that double overtime game in the same arena. They'll be
that
playing
game was
this
insane. It was a half court game winner.
Yeah, 119 to 116 in double overtime. So having some familiarity with the gym is huge, but also having familiarity with Cougars in general coming from Boca Raton.
Oh, Cougar
they will not be overwhelmed by rich, powerful women who just want the dick. So we're gonna fade Oklahoma State here.
FAU plus 1.5.
Man, Discord's getting loaded up.
No, their Discord's gonna get worked.
The some people like the part of the roller coaster where you go up, tick 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 tick. Discord about to get that nice drop.
Yeah, about to
get the
off.
drop.
Hey, maybe you're in the Discord. You're looking for some action, either fading or following our plays. Have you head over to mybookie.ag? Use the promo code SGPN. You get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 and a $10 free casino chip. Terms and conditions apply. Mybookie.ag. Got that awesome prop builder. Again, great for building some same game parlays in the NFL. Great for ladder stuff as well. I use them a lot for some of the ladders. On mybookie.ag, they got the new cash out, all new and improved mobile site. Fired up, mybookie.ag. They even have live betting and streaming all in one convenient place, mybookie.ag, and use that promo code SGPN so they know we sent you. We're also brought to you by Rebet. That's right. Rebet is a all new social sports book. That's right. Social sports book, which means it's legal and active in 45 plus states. Very fun. I've just been using Rebet now. It's out there in California, Texas, some of those states. People struggle to find options to get down, and Rebet is certainly a good solution. Highly recommend it, and use Rebet. Download it in your app store. Use the promo code SGPN. You get a 100% deposit match up to $100 when you use the promo code SGPN. That's Rebet in the app store. Promo code SGPN.
All right. I like the vibes of the picks so far. I feel like we're on all correct sides except for Sean in the first game.
Okay.
Next up, dogs barking could be.
Colby, are you still trying to find homes for those dogs?
Yes, when the internet works better. A lot of dogs over here. No, I think they might end up just being mine. I don't know. I mean, boy. We'll see.
You got a yard, right?
I do.
Okay.
Do they all get along, all the dogs?
We're working on it. It's getting easier. I'll say that.
I'm sure Mud's not stoked.
No.
All right.
He's an alpha. He's not letting these new dogs in.
I imagine Mud would be just like the black dude in the East Carolina video.
Oh,
just knocking out all those other dogs. East Carolina -3. Taking on Jacksonville State. We're in Daytona Beach, Florida. So we all know that's a very classy place. 12:30 p.m. here on the West Coast. So 3:30 local time. Colby, why are we in Daytona Beach?
I don't. This is a tournament, but I don't understand why they would choose the interesting locations that they choose. But what is the name of this one again?
Going to Daytona Beach.
I think this is the Sunshine Slam tournament, if memory serves me correct.
Oh, that's a great name.
I could be wrong. It's one of these Florida tournaments, but look, East Carolina. They'll go anywhere in planet Earth and dominate. And here's an opportunity to go down to filthy Daytona Beach and get that dub. Look, you look at what they've done. They're undefeated because that's what we do, guys. RJ Felton, boy. CJ Walker. I mean, this is the year. And I've been telling you, Mike Schwartz, year 3 of ECU. That's when you really see that program turn. And
may the Schwartz be with you.
Why do you have that?
Because Mike Schwartz is our head coach.
Let's go.
I mean, I want to believe in the Pirates, Colby. I'm worried looking at this schedule. I mean, Wesleyan, was one of their wins. Mount Olive was one of their wins.
George
Meanwhile,
Mason.
what
about George Mason? You skip over George Mason, huh?
Yeah, I'm framing the data. Meanwhile, Jacksonville State, Coastal Carolina, nice 18-point win on the road. Jacksonville State took down Georgia State. Decently ranked opponent there. Nice home win there. Are we not? If we're getting on East Carolina, were you worried we're not buying them at the peak of their pricing? Like they're undefeated, but they haven't played anyone, and they're
George Mason's made the Final Four over the past 20 years.
20 years, Colby. Are you serious?
And don't forget
that George Mason Final Four magic still resonates with these kids today.
Tony Skinn, their head coach, was their point guard on that Final Four team. So yes, it does. Coastal Carolina, they also beat. They have a common opponent. They both beat Coastal Carolina, and this is a great spot. Look, ECU is such a good program. Teams don't want to schedule them because they're like Sean. We had this thing. We would play Virginia Tech all the time in football. If Virginia Tech canceled because we beat them so often that they said, "Hey, this is not a good investment here. We're paying them money and they're beating us." So
it was related to your lowbrow fans making a mess of Blacksburg.
And they wanted us to go kind on them after there was like a massacre on campus. We came up there, we beat them. Wow.
See, this is the classic ECU fan.
Taking it too far.
Classless.
All right, so Colby, you're taking the Pirates laying 3.
Great number here.
Kramer, what are you doing? I mean, I'm probably going to take East Carolina because Colby is probably giving himself a favorable number here. We have to handicap the handicapper. Colby is giving the Pirates a number he knows they can cover.
ECU.
This is going to open at like 5.5 for Jacksonville State, and they're going to win by 4. I'm taking.
We're going to watch this game, and it's going to be hilarious because ECU is just dreadful on offense. They can rebound on the offensive side. And then Jacksonville State, Sean, you like the free throw shooting, much better free throw shooting team. No one has said Cox yet. Thought Colby might be on the Gamecocks because he's been cocking over there on the college experience. 100%. That felt like the most forced pro ECU handicap.
He was stretching.
He had to use the music. I mean, some have called it strip club DJ in terms of the vibe of that pick. Yeah, we're fading it. Wait, you're going with ECU?
I'm riding with ECU.
No, that's not smart, Sean. You saw it before your very eyes.
No, I actually.
It was a big.
Yeah, I saw Colby shade a very favorable line for East Carolina.
Okay, that's
Sean. Vince McMahon donated $8 million to East Carolina University. One of our outstanding alums.
A class act.
One of our outstanding alums.
Is he going to ask for that money back to pay a woman he took a shit on?
I was going to say, you see this narrative we're painting with the.
That's not the first time that happened at ECU. That's not the first time that happened at ECU.
Won't be the last. If you looked at the history of who Vince McMahon has paid large sums of money to, what did ECU have to do to get that $8 million?
I mean, at least one dump.
His wife is still with him, I think.
That's amazing. I mean, what she has some
very
sort of
different marriage than
contractual obligation. I mean, in some ways, that's the perfect storm for most women. They, all the money and power, and you don't have to get.
I don't think it's a perfect situation to hear your husband was paying to defecate on women. Allegedly.
I mean, that's fair, but maybe
I don't know if that's a dream life.
I'm sure she's just emotionally
allegedly. You said allegedly. As
is it alleged? I think it's actual.
No, and they might have got divorced, but I think she still goes by Linda McMahon.
I don't think they got divorced. I think she's riding it out.
I don't think the shitting part is alleged anymore. I think we can just say Vince McMahon did shit on on other women. I don't want to make it just one. You don't just shit on one woman. Like that's not the kind of thing you just do once. You've done it many times. In fact, you've probably done it many times working up to your wife. You got to test it out. Make sure, see. So
they've been estranged for years, although still legally married.
I'm sure there's a contract there.
Does seem like he likes locking in these deals.
All right. Back to Charleston, 2 p.m. here on the West Coast. Seton Hall, VCU, 4.5 points. Colby thinks VCU will be laying here. Colby, let's break it down.
Have you guys watched Seton Hall yet this year?
I've not watched Seton Hall yet.
They're horrible. They're look. I thought you were a Jersey guy, but Seton Hall. Apparently, their NIL collective is lacking, and a lot of their players either graduated or transferred out. There's a couple big ones that have gone to someone in conference, but someone down to the SEC where they're contributing. And VCU is looking really good there. 4-0. VCU's coach proof. We were talking about this the other night on the College Basketball Experience. Like they just that program,
just a location thing.
Yeah, whether it was Capel, whether it was Jeff Capel, whether it was Anthony Grant, whether Shaka Smart, Rhodes, it doesn't matter. They just they have it intact there. So I was surprised when concocting these numbers. I thought this would be a bigger spread in VCU's favor, but maybe because Seton Hall is still part of the big bad Big East.
Yeah,
they get some love on that.
Yeah, you look at Seton Hall. Their offense is horrible. I mean, their defense is okay, but I think partly it's just because they play these ugly ass games. It ends up looking, good. I mean, they did hold Wagner to 28 points, which is really funny. But they only put up 54 on the other side. Like you should be able to get 60, 70 points against Wagner if you're Seton Hall. I think this is a smash spot.
Does the
for
chat
VCU.
think this is a short number that Colby has produced?
I think it's short, but I don't know how much higher you can make it.
Are we worried at all that VCU has a potential look ahead spot next week to HBCU Elizabeth City State University?
I've been to Elizabeth City.
They're playing on the day after Thanksgiving. Why set up a game on the Friday after Thanksgiving?
Why not?
You just want to get a game with Elizabeth City?
Yeah.
What's the spread? A hypothetical spread in that game, Colby? -60?
Elizabeth City's got some talent. All right. I feel like
45.
Yeah. Give me 32.
What are they? D2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, look, I thought I even gave them a little bit of action here, like
really?
based on what I gave them, like another point. So maybe it's 5. You want to call it a 5?
All right, let's go 5.
Sure. Still like it at 5.
I'm still taking VCU, but it feels like the number is short, and I don't want people.
That might just be the power program though against a mid-major.
All right. Next up, we're going.
Give me VCU though.
Yeah, we're all in on VCU.
Yeah, not looking ahead to Elizabeth City State College. University. Let's head back to Conway. If you go, I mean, I'd imagine if I was going to Conway, the first thing I'd want to do is I want to get to that football stadium and stand on the field and see how dizzying that teal turf is. It has to be somewhat mind altering. It's not a natural color. But me
and Nick I was just at Broke Stadium. I actually think, and to Nick's credit, because he said that it's easier on the eyes than Boise's when you go to the live game. Now on TV, it looks worse. I will, now that I've been to both. I agree. I think when you're at the game, it doesn't really bother you. Whereas like on TV, it just looks like a little weird, but
I think what it is that the coastal, like the coloring actually gets altered because it like makes things almost look black and white. So the Boise being brighter. Yeah. I would imagine both are somewhat distracting. The couple high school fields in Southern California I've been to that are not normal green. Eventually your brain says, what the fuck am I looking at? Anyway, Bradley, Texas State. This is a game 2 of the classic. The first game was Ohio, Middle Tennessee State. So some bangers going on in Conway. Bradley laying a projected 5.5 points here. This one feels a little forced in terms of getting it on the card, Colby. Why are we talking Bradley, Texas State?
Well, Bradley's been a great program since the days of Hershey Hawkins. All right, and Texas State's got actually, some history there too. You should dabble into when you get some free time there, buddy.
Brian Wardle.
Yes.
Great name.
But this is, I'm a Missouri Valley guy. All right.
Okay.
Just give me the Valley all day here. They just put it on Northern Illinois, but didn't cover because they knew they were going to this tournament. And I think just the Braves in general, I think could be a team potentially that we could be talking about in March. Yes, they did lose at Wazoo, but that's that far trip from Peoria to Pullman. But I just think this team in general, and the culture that Bradley's really had my entire life. I just think they're in I was surprised here that Texas State, and maybe, do you want to add a point here? I don't know. I already added a point more than
He's getting self-conscious. We didn't even bring it up.
I'm on the opposite side. I like Texas State in this spot.
So your number is good, Colby.
Give them. Texas State, a team that shoots almost 80% from the line. Giving them 5.5 against the Bradley team.
Fun Belt, baby.
Yeah. I think there's some holes in this Bradley game, including their inability to play turnover-free basketball. I think that could bite them in the ass here against Texas State. Texas State's defense not bad at creating some turnovers. So yeah, give me 58th in creating in turnover percentage. It's a real weakness on the Bradley side. So I think they're going to turn them over a couple times, hit their free throws in the second half, and get this backdoor cover. Give me 5.5 at Texas State. Kramer.
No. You got to take Bradley. They're going to shred him behind the line. They're gonna, they're just gonna pick them apart.
What are they, 11th in the nation and 3-point field goal percentage right now?
Outlier.
How many teams does Missouri Valley Conference get in this year, Colby?
Let's go 2.
It's a good question because you look at it. Murray State right now, Northern Iowa, Drake. Anyone else? Belmont.
It's probably gonna be 1, but I'm hoping for 2.
Nice. I like that. Always rooting for the little guy. Sean disagrees with us. Probably maybe a good sign. Maybe not.
Fading Kramer has been profitable.
It has been very profitable. 330. I lost. I won so much money on the fucking slot machine last week. I made all these fucking just complete raw dog college basketball bets on a Saturday. Did not do well. Refocusing. NFL lasers still intact. UNC Greensboro and Indiana face off in Bloomington, Indiana. So back to a normal home game here, Colby. 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Indiana laying a projected 19 points. Why are we talking about this?
Yes. And we just saw Greensboro give, was it SMU a game? I believe it was. Yeah. SMU, they lost by 13, but that was a closer game than even that. And I went to that Florida Gulf Coast game. I caught UNC Greensboro live. They look good against the Eagles there, formerly Dunk City. And, Mike Woodson's the coach of Indiana. They brought in a shit ton of talent because Purdue went to the national championship and they felt terrible. And they're like, wait, we got to up our game. But I also think they got the Signetti game on Saturday. They're not focused on basketball. You're thinking about football right now. And with all that talent, Greensboro's going to come in and be able to stay within that number. Indiana wins by 7, 8, 10, something like that.
This is a wild ass game for Colby to put on the sheet. Why has he done this?
I'm with Colby. I'm taking Greensboro. Obviously, Indiana's a good program. I think it's less about how good Indiana is, but just Greensboro's been frisky. They destroyed Wesleyan, who you're not talking about, Colby. But
that's a big game right there.
Again,
ECU took Wesleyan too. So both these teams have taken on Wesleyan. Yeah.
No, the SMU game's a good comp. Only lost by 13. I think they make this interesting enough. I know it's in Indiana, but to your point, it's Thursday night. They're looking ahead to Ohio State on the football field. I'll take UNCG for 19.
One notable difference is the size of this Indiana team. Yeah, Greensboro, one of the smallest teams in the country.
Yeah,
Indiana rolls. I'm laying the
Kramer
big
loves a good favorite.
I got to have one of these so I can complain about the number that Colby has inflated for himself and then taken the dog. All right, let's head down to the Bahamas. Wow, lottery ticket. How did Patino get? And by the way,
he's going down there with a briefcase of money. He's got to clean for some mate guys in the.
Whoa, Sean.
So he's got an uncle in the outfit in Chicago.
It's just a diner down. It's just some diner cash. We're heading to the Nassau, beautiful Bahamas. I'm sure they're staying at some sort of casino or a place like that. St. John's is an underdog, catching 2.5 points against Baylor. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Colby,
well,
what's the Patino update?
Well, there is an 8-minute drive from the Baha Mar Convention Center. Is the News Cafe. All right.
Food's great there.
In and out.
There's also
when to come.
There's also a place that perhaps Vince McMahon's gone that's right next to it called the Poop Deck at Sandyport. All right. You might have to do a deep dive on the Poop Deck there at Sandyport, Kramer. But
that's wild.
This game is fantastic. Will he be wearing like will Patino, you know how he's normally coming out like in a white suit or something? Will he be like the tropical June Jones style gear here, or will he continue to rock the suit?
He's going to be wearing full white linen like he's going on a boat. That's my prediction.
Like a colonel. Like Colonel Sanders.
Just like linen shirt, white pants, like looking fucking casual as
gator boots.
Like the kind of thing an Italian guy would wear to a beach party in the Bahamas.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he in the running for Italian of the week?
Yeah, I mean, I think
it's a jam-packed week because you got Tommy DeVito. Who else was in the mix, Ryan?
Pat Narduzzi.
The Saints' new head coach Darren Rizzi.
Darren Rizzi,
Kurt Signetti.
Kurt Signetti. Yeah, that was the other one I was thinking of. It's gonna be super competitive.
Yeah, I mean,
Tommy DeVito's agent, who liked one of Kramer's tweets,
Colby,
also in the mix.
Basically a made man now. Yeah, I will say Patino also is a National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, and Sao Paulo, Ryan, because
Sao Paulo already won. He won because he got his Lifetime Achievement Award at the whatever Italian American
Italian
National
Hall of Fame.
So yeah. Anyway, Patino.
This game's awesome. Like I look, I have my preseason pick for Baylor to win the Big 12 was Baylor. And obviously the Johnnies are a darling of mine as long as Rick Pitino is coaching them. So this is just a fascinating matchup. Let me ask you this. Who would be more distracted? Would it be the guys from Waco or would it be the guys from Queens?
Jamaica Queens. I mean, they're familiar with the Gulf lifestyle.
Yeah, I think if you're a New Yorker, you probably traveled a little bit. Well, but Waco, Texas, maybe you go to
fuck you, Waco,
San
Texas.
Padre Island.
No,
hang out there.
100%. New York is much closer to and also they're just at a resort. So yeah, Baylor can't get rapey, I'm sure. See if we have
Baylor is definitely the more battle tested team. They've already taken on Gonzaga and Arkansas, as well as Sam Houston State, who we think is a decent mid-major.
That generally matters with this stuff.
I think this is a close game. I'm taking St. John's. I like I like Patino, the road trip angle. I think he's able to get his guys ready for a neutral court game like this. I think this is a get up spot for them. We already saw Baylor struggle on a neutral court. Certainly, Gonzaga a little more talented than the Patino team we're trying out. So I like St. John's here catching the 2.5.
Do you know who that we're going to get to see Rick Pitino and Blue Cane on the same court at the same time?
Oh wow!
Game 2 of the double or in game 2 of the weekend.
Colby, what are you doing? What do we?
I'm gonna take St. John's. Patino's my guy. Langston loves, I think, a game time decision on this too for Baylor. So I feel like Patino's been to the Bahamas a few times where Scott Drew.
Oh yeah.
This is the first time I feel like.
Yeah, to me, this is like does St. John's do this every year with Patino now?
I just think Rick Pitino does this every year.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think St. John's will be a staple going down to some island early season classic. Give me St. John's. Come on. We're a St. John's show, Sean.
You did say staple, so I'm obligated to play the staple sound effect.
No staples in this matchup.
Yeah, Baylor laying the 2.5 at the neutral. Hey, have you guys signed up? UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN, get you 100% deposit match up to $1,000.
Oh my God.
The boosts and promos are just awesome on Underdog. Highly recommend it, including college basketball. Bunch of college basketball, college football. If you're a college fantasy fan, get in on Underdog. Plenty of good opportunities there. Colby, what do we like for the college basketball slate?
I am going to go to the Penn State IPFW game tonight because I don't think they had anything for tomorrow yet. But we have
Johnson.
Great name,
All-time name.
How about let's go to Ace Baldwin, the former VCU Ram who plays at Penn State. Higher than 15.5 points. Look, I think you could do higher or lower on 15.5 points. I think we take the higher on Ace Baldwin. IPFW is a good mid-major, so I think it's a game that they actually have to pay attention to, and he's by far their best player on their team. So give me a higher 15.5 points for the great Ace Baldwin.
How many years has Ace Baldwin played college basketball?
I was going to say, I feel like we've been talking about him for like 5 or 6 years.
Well, he had that 1 year on VCU where he tore his ACL or something. Something happened. He was out for the year one
We've
year.
We've been talking Ace Baldwin for a long time. Dare we pair it with Ace Bailey of Rutgers, Colby, with a suited aces,
double ace,
or if there's something else on the board you like, what are we doing?
Well, actually, for Ace Bailey, I actually think I would go lower on the 17.5 points. Merrimack, a decent mid-major. Right. Rutgers not known to be an offensive juggernaut. So give me the lower than 17.5 points with Ace Bailey.
So higher Ace Baldwin 15.5, lower Ace Bailey 17.5.
Ace.
Double aces. Get that over at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGP. And
the pocket aces play of the day.
Pocket aces. I like that.
All right, moving along. Maybe we should shorten the number of games early in the season so Colby doesn't take all these liberties. This one's just to make Sean happy. We're talking Syracuse, who, by the way, just got a big time commit as Carmelo Anthony's kid is officially, for now, going to Syracuse, which I had a pretty solid Melo following in dad's footsteps. 4 p.m. on the West Coast. They're heading to Brooklyn, which this is a big city classic here. Syracuse, Texas. Texas projected to be laying 9 points. How are we feeling about the Longhorns right now, Colby?
I'm not a huge fan of their coach, but I will say Syracuse has been living on the edge. They had a 4-point win against Lemoyne.
Yeah, that is a little brother crosstown rivalry. If you're not familiar,
then they won by 2 against Colgate.
Colgate always plays us tough.
And then they took on the Polish Rifle, Ron Jaworski's alma mater, Youngstown State, where they won by 9 in double overtime. I have my concerns about this Syracuse team, but it will be a Syracuse crowd, which does make it a little tricky. Bob Costas and his pink eye might show up, but
watch out. Did you know Lemoyne only has 2 years of being Division I?
I did.
Wow. I mean, they only have 1 win this year, and it's at the Division II level. So that was not a good showing for Syracuse.
Now it should be noted that Tremont Mark is a game time decision for the Longhorns.
Oh boy, here we go.
But
sorry, keep going, guys. Just ready to handicap this game. I almost look like a hunter wearing the
green and
camo
the orange.
SGP hat with the bright orange Syracuse jersey. You can't give Syracuse 9 points on a neutral court.
Oh, boy.
The orange will be strong in New York City.
It's a home game for the orange, right?
Yeah,
Or will there be
It
more
is,
Texas
pretty much.
It's yeah. You're making them a 9-point home dog against a Texas team that's just dying to get horns down. Let's go, baby.
Are we 100% sure they're gonna have they're not gonna have fans up there? No.
Well,
Texas. They have a huge alumni. The other thing to highlight is, do you know one of the other teams playing in Brooklyn, Sean, that will certainly be rooting against Texas also? Texas Tech. So this will be a pro Syracuse crowd one way or another. Yeah, you got to take Syracuse in anywhere in the city. It's 100. All the fucking suits that went to Syracuse and fucking want to jerk off in their suites.
There might be some Texas fans in New York City, but not compared to Syracuse.
New York City.
Yeah.
Well, and Texas plays in football a huge game, obviously on Saturday. So in Austin,
I like Colby's other sport look ahead.
It's true. If you're picking, so you're one of these rich guys that can go to all the big games.
Yeah.
Are you going to this game against Syracuse, or are you going to the football game?
It's a great point.
Yeah, you're not going to this game. It's not a get up opponent.
Yeah,
either.
is McConaughey going to the game? That's all you need to know.
He'll be at the
football game.
Yeah. We're all on Syracuse, huh?
Discord getting a heavy card. Horns down. 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We're back in Charleston. Oh, interesting here. Vanderbilt certainly has experience with wealthy cougars floating around. Not so sure about Nevada. Actually, it's Nevada. Nevada -5. Colby.
And look, the number that when I put this into this deep algorithm of mine.
You're learning computer. How'd the neural net processor do?
it spit out 4. But I will say Vegas has loved Vanderbilt this year, but I still think Nevada has looked really good. So I made it -5, but Vegas has loved these Vanderbilt numbers. So maybe it would be like 2 or 3, but I think 5 is where I settled with. And look, Steve Alford, I know, you guys don't know cause you guys snorkel, but,
How dare you?
When you set Pick Dundee, when you sent him out to Vegas, Pick Dundee, he did. I'm no longer an enemy of Steve Alford. Me and him went out into the desert.
Bread?
Oh no.
We broke bread. We did some peyote in the desert, and look, and he's been killing it for me. He's been absolutely killing it for me this season. We buried the hatchet, so to speak, and it's working out for me because he's blowing out everybody that he plays, and Colby I keep taking them.
Colby bought a used car.
Oh, let me tell you, we're on board. Get a future now, Kramer. You're going to be out in Vegas. Okay. All right.
Oh, I know we're going to be betting on Nevada come March. I understand this already. This team profile, they're very fun. They're electric from behind the line, Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, very easy to want to go against Vanderbilt here.
Yeah, I don't know. So Colby, you're officially on Nevada here?
Yeah, you're damn right I am. All right. Steve Alford, like I said, in the middle of the desert, and we're on peyote, and he was just telling me how good this team is, and we forgave each other. And we had a meeting of the minds. What are those sheets that you throw up with those hot rocks with the sun that beats down where like 20 people die every fucking year?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
These retreats in the desert. You haven't heard about this? There's some dude in Beverly Hills a couple years ago that killed like 20 people.
We got hit with a meteor or something.
No, he just convinced a bunch of people that he was that you wanted to clean your soul by going out in the desert and going under like where there's heat rocks and like you put this sheet up and the sun beats down. It's 150 degrees.
So,
yeah, no thanks. Even as a guy who likes hot yoga, I think the matchup they're going to exploit is Nevada is a very good 3-point shooting team, 48.6%. That's insane, and that's kind of Vandy's weakness is closing out at the line. I think that's going to be the point you exploit there. Vanderbilt undefeated and they're catching points. Red flag. Nevada all day for me. Kramer, are you co-signing?
I appreciate you going out of your way to say Nevada, unlike Colby, who keeps saying it like a complete East Coast buffoon.
Hey Kramer, when you're
Nevada.
out in the desert, for Thanksgiving, you're probably gonna walk past the spot where me and Steve Alford, we hung out with some peyote. Yeah,
you popped your cherry. I will say it does concern me. All the coaches he made friends with, Sean. He's been very. He's not been very objective with those teams.
He's classic East Coast media now, Kramer. He's become East Coast media. He has his biases, his guys. Yeah. He wants to make sure get shine. He used to be a renegade when he was out in the West Coast,
and we're not concerned.
Now he's playing the game. Big J journalist.
We're not concerned at all about Steve Alford having a couple of dates with some fancy cougars after the game. Nice. Little look ahead spot for him.
He's locked in.
All right. We all agree Discord on the Illuminati University of Vanderbilt. Next up, as I mentioned, Texas Tech also in the house for Brooklyn, in Brooklyn. So that this will be certainly the Texas fans will not be rooting for Texas Tech. They'll be rooting for St. Joe's. 6 p.m. on the West Coast, so late night on the East Coast tip, 9 p.m. -8.5 for Texas Tech. They've kept a good program recently in spite of some coaching churn. Colby, how are we feeling about Texas Tech this year?
We're feeling really good. I know Beanick's got them in his preseason Final Four, so I feel good about him. I don't know if I feel that good about him, but Grant McCaskill. They look really good so far. Now the competition hasn't been amazing, but St. Joe's, we rode them last week to beat Villanova. Well, I guess me and you did, Kramer. Sean took Nova, but
get them all.
Well, they should have won that game.
St. Joe's is phony to me. They might be looking for a new head coach at the end of the year, so I will lay it with the Red Raiders. Another thing I thought was under the radar. Texas Tech was able to hire away Wyoming sitting head coach Jeff Linder, who I think is a really good head coach, to be an assistant at Texas Tech. I think that's made a difference to this team, and I can see why Beanick has him going so far. So all over these Red Raiders, like this roster, and St. Joe's I think is a phony 3-1.
Why did St. Joe's get invited to this prestigious event? Big program.
Phil Martelli. Yeah.
All right.
Don't ask me why. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this number is really short, Colby. I think this is going to open up as double digits, but I'll take your Texas Tech 8.5.
Do we need to adjust?
I would make this 10.5.
10.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. But you want to move it to 10.5, Kramer?
Let's move it to 10.5.
All right. That being said, I'll still take Texas Tech.
Look how honorable we are.
No, St. Joe's is. This Villanova team it's a whole other story, but Texas Tech, I'm with Noah. I like the early preseason love on them, and they've looked incredibly sharp. I think
real charity spot here. How they got invited to this one.
Now, what are you doing, Kramer?
Oh, I'm laying it.
Yeah,
we love Texas Tech.
Yeah, they're traditionally a good team to ride.
What's the coach's name again, Colby?
Grant McCaskill.
Yeah, we like this guy. Tennessee. We're going back to the Bahamas, and you wouldn't believe it. Imagine Tennessee fans in the Bahamas going to just make a mess of the place. They're taking on the Wahoos, maybe down there searching to understand what the fuck a Wahoo is. Virginia plus 7.5. Colby, what's the current status with UVA and their program? Pretty much end of being a dominant program, right?
Well, Tony Bennett, he left them high and dry a week before the season, or 2 weeks before the season. Ron Sanchez.
Do we know why?
I actually think it was always a part of the plan. I know he said, like, I went on a vacation with my wife and family matters to me. But when they hired away Ron Sanchez, who was the sitting head coach at Charlotte last season, I thought, why would he? Because Charlotte was he was on the verge of having his best team ever at Charlotte during his tenure. So I thought, like, why would he take the job unless he's been promised to be the next head coach? And sure enough, he was, because Tony Bennett stepped down and Ron Sanchez is now the head coach and he's only got a 1-year deal. So he's got to prove it. here, but I can't take Virginia here. I got to take Tennessee. This will be a defensive struggle, but I just think Rick Barnes and Tennessee are just way more athletic than Virginia. So I guess you could worry a little bit about the Vols out in the Bahamas, but
what are you worried about?
The wahoo is a fish. It's the fastest fish in the water. You'd expect it to be doing well down in the Bahamas.
Coastal city, Charlottesville makes total sense.
That being said, this is when you take Tennessee. Now, maybe in a big spot in the tournament where they're big favorites, that's when you look to fade them. But certainly here in something like this, UVA, one of the worst teams in college basketball at offensive rebounding, auto fade by me. If you're a dog, you got to hit your free throws and you got offensive rebound and horrible offensive rebounding. Okay at free throws. Tennessee rolls. Kramer, what are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm not taking Virginia.
Tennessee
the Staples. Oh, they're a fish though.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
I can't wait for that. Just us listening to George Bush drops Patreon episode.
No, it's coming.
7 p.m. on the West Coast. We're heading out to Corvallis, Oregon. This is a fun one, Colby. Oregon State. You got Oregon State projected to be a 5.5 point home dog here. By the way, unrelated, I do like the upgrade the Oregon team has made to their court. It's a little bit more subtle and still lots of trees and mountains. Very nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Civil War on the hardwood there, and you know, Oregon State is 4-0. Wayne Tinkle, remember a couple of years ago, he took a tinkle on the Pac-12 and won the tournament, and then went all the way to the Elite Eight in a magical run. But ever since then, they kind of been asked. I think the thing you question here is the schedule any good? Utah Tech, aka Dixie State, Weber State, Western Oregon, who last time I checked, I thought wanted to be a part of Idaho. Oh no, that was Eastern Oregon. And then Cal State Fullerton.
They've played no one.
And then you look at the Ducks. The Ducks have played UC Riverside, which is actually a quality mid-major. Montana, not a terrible major. Portland, who almost beat them. That's the only red flag there is Portland almost. Oh, they should have beat them actually. And then Troy, who is a good program as well, or at least this year we think they're going to be good. I just think Phil Knight's got that money. He's like 88 years old. He's trying to win. I as much as I love these Beavs, I just think Oregon's just a different beast. I will lay the points with the Ducks.
I'm going against you. I mean, Oregon State as a dog in Corvallis. You mentioned it, Colby. Portland gave Oregon a run because Oregon's the big bad boys. You know, they're the everyone in that region didn't get recruited by Oregon. Bad boys, not good enough for that Nike money. You know, they're I mean, they've had this circled. Normally I would look to fade a undefeated team in Oregon State catching points here, but the rivalry, the home dog aspect, and their advanced numbers look solid enough. Give me Oregon State all day, catching the 5.5.
Are we at all worried, Colby? Oregon does have a look ahead spot to Vegas where they'll be taking on my guy Buzz and Texas A&M at the MGM. Any concerns there?
Potentially. And I'm sure the fact that this game not being on like the Pac-12 network, like Pacific Northwest Division, where it's just impossible to find that game, might have the Ducks a little more nervous. This will probably be nationally televised. But no, I don't. I mean, with the Buzzsaw, decent point, but I still think just like Oregon, this is still means something there within the state. So I think Oregon's just a higher caliber athlete, better coach team. Give me the Ducks.
All right,
Kramer,
I'm with you. That was the stretch. I mean, I'll have my full handicap on this team after they play Texas A&M. So check back with me after the Thanksgiving holiday. One of the things I'm going to be recording on my VCR while I'm off the grid camping. Memphis taking on San Francisco in the great city of San Francisco. Speaking of things Vince McMahon likes to do to women. 7 p.m. on the West Coast. You're projecting a 4.5 point spread for Memphis here on the road, Colby. Was this just a filler game? You couldn't get to 14, so we just throw in Memphis, San Francisco.
Wait, what? I mean, both these teams.
I mean,
Memphis has played for the national championship not that long ago.
Programs.
Yes. San Francisco is 4-0. The Dons, and they've looked all right, man. I mean, the Boise State game was a shocker to me. They look really good in that matchup. And then I think Memphis, a lot of people, including myself, faded Memphis out the gate against Missouri. Thought, hey, Missouri would be able to get them. Then we faded them again when they went to Vegas against UNLV. So they've already been on the West in the Pacific time zone, got the dub. They came home and took care of a decent MAC school in Ohio. Very impressive start to the season. The only thing is Memphis has UConn on deck in 4 days.
Yeah. So I'm all over the Dons here. The look ahead spot for Memphis. The fact that Memphis, they've been on a roll. Why? Because they're shooting almost 50% from the three. You get a motivated Dons on their home court. What does that mean? Closing out on defense, contesting 3-pointers, not going away easy. I think Dons are the play here, especially at 4.5. So yeah, give me 4.5 all day. Colby, what are you doing?
It's a fascinating game because it's basically Staples against, what did I say they were again? Bouncy balls.
This is when Staples get up though. Home dogs. No one believes in them. With going up against a better athletic team with a look ahead spot. This is college basketball handicapping.
I'll join you one more time, but I'm telling you, Memphis is making a fool out of me every time I pick. Give me these Dons. It's just the look ahead spot with UConn, the 2-time national champion on deck. I think it's a sleepy spot. And I also think when you show up to their stadium and you see these little staples, you're going to say, oh, we got this. And the Dons get it done here. Let's go.
Don is an acronym for origin noble, which translates to of noble origin, and is a Spanish title given only to a noble person of political, social, or official distinction. The name references the early history of California and San Francisco, which was marked by the exploits of the adventuresome and swashbuckling Spanish Dons. Pretty offensive name they're using here. A swashbuckling group. Yeah, you got to fade the look ahead spot. UConn's on UConn. We should, Sean, this is what we're going to do. We're going to look at UConn's schedule and we're going to fade every team that plays them next. So we're going to play every look ahead spot against UConn.
Okay. I like that.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm in.
Every team that has UConn next, we're going to fade them. So
get in their heads.
Give me the Dons. And for those who are wondering, could they potentially be in the running for Italian American of the Week? As I just pointed out, it's not an Italian Don; it's a Spanish swashbuckling Don.
Oh, so it doesn't count.
Sometimes the Spaniards get confused for being Italian. It's the olive skin.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right, time for our lock, dog, and tease. AKA 3 locks and a dog. Brought to you by Rhythm sportsgamingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get over there, get your 7-day free trial. Great for college basketball picks, including building your own AI model. Very easy to set up. I've been using this model. It's a great little tool. Or you can just have a Rhythm build your own college basketball model. Tell you a play tonight that both my model and Rhythm's model both like is Pepperdine catching 14.5 against the UNLV running Rebels. Again, build your own model. Very easy to do. Just adjust the sliders.
Is that game out in the boo?
No, I think that's in Vegas. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get your 7-day free trial today of Rhythm.
You realize that was the same one last year when you were on a flight where you asked the coach and he goes, "No, we're gonna get our ass kicked," right?
Yes. Yeah, it's a different team. I did ask him how they felt, and he didn't say we're gonna get our ass kicked. It was just like, we'll see. We're gonna go out there and try and compete. It was a very much
that basically means we're gonna get our ass kicked.
But that's why we're getting 14.5, Colby, or 14.5 points. Otherwise, I'm not taking Pepper. I'm not taking the waves on the money line. Kramer, what do you got? Give me 2 locks and 3 locks and a dog.
All right. Lock number 1, FAU. Love the fact that they're going back to an arena they just played in.
Okay.
Lock number 2. I just had it. It left me. It's coming back. VCU laying the 5.
Okay.
I'm taking both the games in Charleston there. And then let's see. We also like Syracuse plus the points. I kind of want to make that a dog, but maybe I make let's make that my dog. Syracuse on the money line.
Oh, that's gonna be nice and juicy.
And actually scratch that. You the Dons are my dog.
Okay.
Because we want to play that UConn angle every time. And then you know what? I'm gonna take Colby's word for it that he broke bread through scalding hot rocks up in the air with a white sheet and got burned like meteors hit him with the Steve Alford out there in the desert. Nevada -5.
Nevada -5. Wow. Interesting play there. All right, for me, first lock. Really solid, handy. I was gonna go FAU, but Kramer's on him, and I'm looking to fade Kramer.
Really?
I'll take Ohio, laying the 2. Next lock. Oh, Kramer is also on VCU. All right. Pivoting. Give me Patino in the Islands, St. John plus 2.5.
I wanted very badly to do that, but
Another lock I like. Give me Syracuse plus 9. Horns down in the Big Apple. And my dog. Come on, guys. Quack, quack. Gonna get whacked by the Oregon State Beavers.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Oregon State on the money line.
Damn, Sean's about to get us some real bad reviews thinking that the Beavers quack.
No, come on. They're getting whacked with the tails of the Beavers.
No, I
Love me some beef.
You think beavers ever eat ducks?
Nice beaver.
You ever seen that, Colby?
We had dueling beaver sound drops there.
Oh, Canada, we love our beaver.
Colby, what do you got?
Nice
lock.
beaver.
3 locks and a dog.
We are look. You guys got to get your mind right. Got to get your soul right, your spirit right. You know,
I'm ready.
That retreat with Steve Alford.
Yeah.
There's minerals. There's minerals out there. There's rocks. Nevada -5. I know Kramer's on the verge of going out there. I'll give you the location that the meeting was held. Bradley -5.5 is the other play. Get this Texas State bullshit out of here. And then let's take those Ohio Bobcats against those boys from Murfreesboro. Those are the 3.
I copied you just like that.
Yep.
The dog is San Francisco.
The dog.
But if you want to have a little bit more fun, at least parlay that with the likes of Syracuse. How about we do a round robin of Syracuse, San Francisco, and St. John's?
Okay, I like that. Nice little trio.
Should we add a 4th team? Should we add in Florida Atlantic, Drake, something like that?
Yes, Florida Atlantic.
FAU. What was okay? All right.
All right. So we're gonna round robin. Are we? Yeah. I think I might just. Yeah. Got to go all the way up.
All right.
I was about to box myself into being responsible. Not going to be responsible.
No, Ryan.
You know I'm a degenerate.
Hey, thank you everyone for tuning in. Tell a friend. Give us 5 stars. Spotify. We have not that guy that we humiliated for his 1-star review. He has not updated it, but counterbalance it with a nice 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts.
I also saw something very disturbing.
What's that?
Less than 1 out of 5 of you are subscribed to this channel right now.
Yeah, what the hell? We get all these views, all these things. Smash that subscribe button. What are you waiting for?
Didn't have time to listen to the show. Can you send me your locks? No.
Subscribe.
No means no.
It's free. The thumbs up are free. Appreciate everyone tuning in. As always, download the SGPN app, also free. And check out the college experience, basketball and football. Got you covered. Colby Dant and crew.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
The tide's turning, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.